In this episode, what we're going to talk to Glenton about are some great stories that are landing in the world of Microsoft globally. So, you're one of the big storytellers of Microsoft. What's the biggest one that we should know about at the moment?
Sure. Yeah, I can tell you one that I'm actually really excited about right now, and it's about a pharmaceutical company called Indivior.
Okay.
They used to be a division of GSK, but now, right, are their own standing company, right, devoted to innovating and bringing to market medicines to help solve the opioid addiction crisis.
Oh, in the US?
Yeah, not only in the US, but all over the world. Okay. So they have offices everywhere, including a laboratory here. Oh. And what's so cool about the work that they're doing is understanding the way in which Microsoft's technology supports it. So for example, right, when a pharmaceutical company needs to bring a new drug to market, they have to get approval through the FDA, right, in the United States. A typical FDA application is 506,000 pages, right? As in like 500,000.
I wouldn't enjoy that.
Right? So it was so cool, right, to hear from the CIO of Indivior, right, and their senior leadership about how with Office 365 and with SharePoint, they set up a war room, right? And that war room spanned the US, right, in Richmond where they're based, the UK, India. So they had dozens of folks working 24 hours a day collaboratively, right, within that SharePoint and Office 365 environment, talking to each other over Skype.
Brilliant.
Right, in order to,
at its best.
At its best, right? And what was, you know, secondarily, right, so interesting about that too, is that collaboration allowed them to work more collaboratively with the FDA, right, driving, right, greater trust, right, that transparency, being able to, right, to collaborate in real time, right? It drove a really great partnership, right, with the FDA, so that, you know, when they're thinking about their new medicines and when they're bringing them to market, the technology is really, right, the linchpin, right, in helping them work across borders, across time, across space, and that's just so powerful.
Do you know, I could see that evolving as well, because we're starting to really get into teams.
Yeah.
So you know, the FDA would be part of the team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're really cool possibilities for how organizations, right, can collaborate not only within their own walls, right, but with stakeholders,
and globally,
right, and globally. And so that's something I was just so excited about when I went to visit that customer.
Great stuff. The ease of use as well now is just fantastic. It's so mature, that product, you know. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and what's great about it too is that these customers are relying on our partners, right, to get that technology, right. Indivior went through a partner organization to make that happen, and so that, you know, I get the double satisfaction, right, of seeing our technology empower our customers, right, to live the mission that we have for ourselves, which is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. But I also get to see that at the partner level too, right? And so it's deeply satisfying.
So the biggest story of all, of course, is Satya. You know, to us and around the globe, it's a phenomenon. I've just seen the financial results.
Yeah, everyone's very happy with that.
98% increase on Azure and the cloud services. Everything seems to be on the up, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, and everyone's very happy with the stock price. So it's good times in Redmond. Yeah.
Maybe you've got some stocks.
Yes.
Fantastic.
More.
Great.
Always more.
Yeah, absolutely. Send some my way. So, the Satya story, I mean, just tell us, you know, he's landed the book, that's gone really well. What a great read that was. It's a phenomenon, really. So just tell us a bit more about.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Satya, and one of the things that I find most compelling when I hear him speak or when I read about him is how he talks about the C in CEO, right, standing for culture.
Culture, that's
right. Yeah, and I think that the culture that he's driving of being, right, learn-it-alls, right, instead of know-it-alls is so important, right, in that relentless pursuit, right, of partner and customer understanding, of empathy, of co-creation. I think it's been something that's just incredible from the way in which we do our work. I think the way in which we do our work shows up, right, in, you know, the technological trends, right, that we're all kind of buzzing about in Redmond and around the world, right? Of course, from a technology perspective, we're really excited to see how artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things converge.
Yeah, quantum computing.
Exactly, yeah, right. And so the next frontier, right, of big data computation around quantum, right, is something that you know, everyone is very, very excited about, right? And how all of these things come together, right, in support of the broader ecosystem of software and hardware that Microsoft offers in order to really, really empower people to do their best work. I think it's a really great time to be at the organization. Right? It's a really great time, right, to see how Satya has brought about change management while at the same time landing, right, some really aspirational technologies, right, and doing so in a really great way.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the way Microsoft has changed its structure in 6 months alone. Managed that through. I was only reading Twitter today as well, right? I saw a tweet that was fascinating, a great article on the fact that you set up an incubator unit for graduates to learn AI in the UK. So it was in the US, but now the first one outside of the US is actually in the UK, in Cambridge.
That's fantastic. So there you go, maybe in St. John's College.
So AI is where it's about. Definitely, we're harnessing it for our Cloud Academy, our training. I think, you know, you just got to get on board, basically.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And one of the things that I think about for partners, right, is that, you know, to your point, it's about getting on board, right? And a lot of the work that I do, right, is about making it easier to get on board because the world continues to change at such an incredible rate that the only thing we can really accept is that we may have no idea, right, of what is around the next corner, right? And we have to accept that with excitement, right, and with a sense of opportunity instead of a sense of fear. And so I get very excited and very happy in my job, right, in producing the engines and the resources to help partners and help their customers, right, take the first steps around those corners.
It's great. I mean, the new structure is enabling us as partners to be a little bit more impulsive, you know. Some people say it's bad, but I think it's a good thing. It means you can stick your neck out a little bit, try it, because you've got the support coming from the new teams. You know?
Yeah, this is supposed to be about experimentation, right? This is supposed to be about, obviously, the move into cloud services, right? The move into IP-atizing, right? You know, the managed services that you may have provided before, and figuring out the right way to turn that IP into a verticalized solution that can thereafter scale, right? And we're excited to be partners with, you know, with all of partners in that, right? And we want to know how we can do a better job empowering all of our partners to get that done.
You heard it here first, Glenton. That was absolutely awesome. AI, quantum computing, and the future structure of partners and Microsoft.